peeps, what is going on? We are back. Just got back home after being on the road, and we're back to finishing up this base. Yeah, I came back and it looks amazing. The clear gloss that I used on it, it really held, and for it sitting around in the garage for like 2 weeks, it's nice and solidified and solid. So today we're gonna do a little bit of wet sanding and see if we can get this polished like came off the factory. Now, I don't remember which grade sandpaper this is, but it's lowest grade because you don't really want to dig into this. You're just kind of getting the orange peel effect and just make it a little smoother. So I don't remember, but there are several videos of people describing what they use. I also have a waxing compound that I will be putting on this, and we're gonna give this a good wax once we finish sanding it down. We have water, a little soapy water, just a little bit of soap to make it bubbly so that it won't stick when you're sanding it down. Got that from another YouTube video. And we got our cloths, our racks to wipe everything down, so let's give it a shot. And it's always good to start on the back, just in case you mess something up. You won't be able to see it because it'll be on. So we're gonna start on the back. Now when you're wet sanding, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on because you're not trying to go through the paint. You're just trying to get rid of some of the blemishes, some of that orange peel, because if you do put too much pressure, you might go through the paint, and that means you're gonna have to strip it all and start all over again. Okay, now that we've sand everything down, we're gonna wipe it down, see what it's looking like. Then we're gonna throw that waxing compound on it once we've wiped it all down. Kind of see it's, even though this color is like a silvery gray, but you can kind of see where it's a little flat, and I could probably go over it a little bit here. That's why it's good to kind of wipe it down as you go so you can see what you need to go over. But it's got so far it's got a nice reflection on it. So we've done sanding the back. Now we're gonna throw some of the compound on here and start lay it down evenly, and then just start buffing it out, see what happens. And take your time on this. Sometimes you have to go over it again depending on how much paint you've put on, how little paint you've put on. So don't worry about it not coming out the way you're wanting it to. Just take your time. All right. Really liking how the back's coming out. If you can still see, there's like a little texture, and I realized before I let this dry, I got a little impatient, and I laid it on this blanket, and it made a little imprint on it. So you can see it kind of looks a little textured. Yeah, that's from me being impatient and laying it on this. So make sure when you guys do any kind of painting, just give it time to dry. And that's also why you start on the back. Okay, so when I wiped the compound off, I don't know if it's this compound or I'm doing something wrong, but it doesn't really wax. I don't know if I'm not putting it in, massaging it in deep enough into the paint, or I'm not letting it sit, or I'm letting it sit too long. I don't know. But if you have just a little bit of avocado oil at home, that's what I'm using, and it's come out so much better than using that. Right now, it's giving me that almost factory shine, and you want to kind of get in there with it. And right now, it's looking really good. You can see that reflection, definitely. I also believe that I did lay down a thicker clear gloss coat, and was a little bit more even. So again, it depends on how much paint you put on, how much gloss you put on, how many coats you layer on to get that certain effect. So the front is definitely a lot smoother than the back. Not a lot, but like I said, I did lay it on this, so that kind of messed it up. But still, I still got that nice reflection. And I'm gonna do a little bit more sanding Get this a little down, a little further. On the top of the body now is coming out way better. I'm actually went to this sandpaper and it seems to be doing a better job. I think it's a little less gritty. I don't know, a little less grittier than, or maybe a little bit more grittier than this. And so it's taking a lot more of that orange peel off. So I think the combination was this 220 grit. And then I upgraded to, I don't know, can't remember which one is which, but I made a mark, but it's these three that I kind of went over and over again. And now we're gonna wipe it all down and then start buffing it out. There you go. So I did all the sanding, the wet sanding, and it still wasn't giving me what I wanted. So after it was glossy, but it wasn't the high gloss I really wanted. So after all the sanding down, I thought to myself, well, since this is a semi-flat paint now that it's turned into, let me hit it again with some clear gloss. Like I said, y'all, this is a learning experience, but gave me the look I want, and we can smooth the back out now that I had smoothed everything out. Now it's looking like that. Probably gonna hit it one more time with clear gloss and then just let it sit and bake. Now we're getting somewhere. Now guys, this is all a learning curve. This is my first time doing it and might be your guys' first time doing it. So give yourself some grace experimenting. This is the method that I found that works for me. I've seen other people do it different ways and they've gotten similar results, but so far this is the method that I like, and it might work for you and it might give you the look that you're looking for. All right, guys, we're getting to the electronics of it. Stay tuned for next week as I try to solder this. This is my first time doing any type of soldering, so we're gonna see if I do this right.